friends, welcome to today's video. This is going to be all about homeschool picks for my pre-K child. Hey friends, welcome back to today's video. I'm Stacey and I have 4 boys I'm homeschooling, and my youngest boy is going to be 4/5 during this upcoming school year. So he is going to be like pre-kindergarten and maybe doing a little bit of kindergarten work. So I'm going to show you my curriculum picks for him for this year and hopefully help give you ideas if you have a child that age. So the main thing that I'll be using this year is this is the Curious Kinder, and this is from the Homeschool Curriculum Company. Where'd you learn that? From Rachel. Here is a picture of her over here. And here in the welcome section, she says that this curriculum integrates 3 core practices. 1, reading fantastic books. 2, practical hands-on activities. And 3, engaging activity pages. And she goes on to talk about that she hopes this sparks curiosity. So this is a literature-based program. Here is her book list. The first segment 1 is oceans, and over here is week 1, and this is the schedule. So some of the main books that you use all year long are the Kingdom of God Bible storybook, the Old Testament, and there's an optional coloring book to go with that. And then a poetry book that you use most of the year is Llama Who Had No Pajamas. And then some of the other books that you use for several weeks throughout the year is their nature books, like the Over and Under series, some of those. So most of these books I do not have. I plan to have that, just do them as read alouds on YouTube. The Kingdom of God Bible storybook I'm hoping to find here locally. I didn't know I was going to be doing this when we were in the States last time, and so I didn't pick up that book. But I think I can maybe find it here locally. If I can't, we're also going to be doing Sunlight, and there's a Bible part in there, so we'll just use that part. But this one here I was hoping to be able to use in the morning with him, and then Sunlight we usually do at bedtime. So yeah. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of like what example we would do on week 1. You would read the Bible story, then you have a memory section. You're working on memorizing the oceans. And so that's great, perfect for this age. I'll probably get my 6-year-old to do that too. And then there's a SEL, like are you ready to play outside? There's a nature section, picture books, the storm. And so this is a read aloud that you're doing with them. And then loop, and in the loop section there's different skills. So like there's a practical skill like yard work, there's a poetry section, feeling extra, choose an activity from the segment 1 extra menu page, so she has things in there for that. There's a motor skills and a love skills, which I believe goes along with what you are learning that week. So then there's some teacher notes, and then it moves on to week 2. And if you want to see more detail about this, she has a whole video showing very in detail on her YouTube channel, so be sure to go check that out. This here is the flashcards that goes along with it. I believe it's a Bible sequencing one, so I need to cut these out and laminate them, and then the child can go through and put them in order, and she has different activity suggestions to do with those. And then this here is the student activity book, and it's big, it's black and white, so it's cheap to print here, and it's usually very simple and doable, and that is what I really like about her stuff. The next thing we're going to be doing is Christian Light Education. They're kindergarten 2. We did kindergarten 1 last year. This is really more of like a pre-K level, I would say, but it could be a kindergarten level too. So there's 5 workbooks and 5 activity books. So I'm guessing this will take us maybe half the school year. We tend to go through these kind of things really fast. He tends to enjoy these, at least with kindergarten 1 he did. And I did this with his big brother when he was this age, and we really enjoyed it. So it has some phonetic work, some awareness in here. Now this child already knows his letters, so it should be pretty easy for him. When my other son was doing this, he didn't know them yet. And then this here is what they call the activity book. So just lots of work pages, and this child happens to love workbook pages, and he loves to sit at the table with us when we're doing school and do his goal. He thinks he's big stuff. And I really like Christian Light Education. Their teacher's guides, they are done really well. So usually they'll have the student page and an explanation over here of what you need to say and teach and directions, and you can see the answer key right away. And there is always a story time usually with each lesson, and then there's comprehension questions. There was, at least in kindergarten 1, there was Bible memory verses and song suggestions and like life skill suggestions in here. And yeah, so it's done really well. It's put together really well, and I would definitely recommend these. A little side note here, in CLE, Christian Education, their kindergarten 1, they had a little like chore to-do list thing, and him and my older son enjoyed it so much that I made copies of it and laminated it and stuck it on our schoolroom wall, and we'll do that again this coming year. It's just for 1 week, and they try to put a sticker on each thing as they get it completed. It's really nice because they can't read yet, but it's got pictures here, and they rush around the house and do all their little chores, and they have so much fun doing it, and it keeps them busy, gives something to do, and it's something good for them to be doing. They're contributing to our family and helps them feel good about themselves. So if it goes really well, I may print more of these off. I did laminate it, so I guess we could take the stickers back off and reuse it. We'll see. I showed this last year. This is from JDA. I got it from Teachers Pay Teachers, and it's just like a social awareness safety type little thing. So it goes through and they have to work on memorizing, like, how old are you? What's your full name? What grade are you in? For homeschool kids, that can be hard. What's your parents' names? When is your birthday? What city do you live in? What country do you live in? Are you male or female? What are the primary colors? Why are seatbelts important? What should you do before you cross in the street? How many days are in the week? And what are the days of the week? And so those are some things I want to work on memorizing with him this year. We'll probably look up some YouTube videos. And once he has these memorized, we will just review them only every so often, not every day. And some of them he already knows from last year, and some of them he still is working on, like days of the week. Time is such a concept that's hard for children to understand, and he'll often ask me, Mom, like, how many days till Friday? Because we do fun school on Friday and they look forward to that. And so then I want him to be able to say, well, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and like count and help him talk through that. He probably won't completely master it, but it'll be good for him to just be exposed to that and get more familiar with it, and along with his older brother who just finished up kindergarten and going to first grade. I also have ABC flashcards here and some numbers like 10 through 20. So he knows his letter sounds, but we want to keep reviewing it so he doesn't forget, and I'm so proud of him. For language arts, we are going to be doing preschool from the Good and the Beautiful. This is the course book, and it goes through and teaches letters and cutting skills, and they also work on memorizing like the ABC song and the letters in order and capital and lowercase. They talk about that, and like B and D, getting them switched up. They introduce that in here. It comes with a folder activity pack. So this has a bunch of folder games in it. For example, they tell you in the course book when to do it. For example, here are some houses with letters on them, and here's a little mouse. And so the child looks away and closes their eyes and hide the mouse under one house. You lay these on the table, and then they have to figure out which house the mouse is under. But before they can lift up the house, they have to say this letter sound and then look it up, and then there's the mouse, yay! And then they hide it and you do it. And so you play this game back and forth. And the other folder games, there's other games. And it is really great for this age. Hands-on and interactive, and games and one-on-one time with mom, and they just love all of it. I did this with my older son when he was this age, and I'll do it again with this child, and I'm sure he'll love it. And it also comes with extra practice sheets. So my plan is probably take all school year to get through this here. So my plan with this is to do it maybe 3 to 4 times a week, depending how often he wants to do it. And take basically the whole school year to get through it. I do have the kindergarten prep book then. If we want, we can move on to that one, and if not, we'll save that for next year. To go along with that, I have like ABC Spot a Game. He loves this one, and this child loves to play games. So we play a lot of like Candyland and Memory, even Catan Junior, Dutch Blitz, Uno Flip, all different kinds of versions. My boys love games, so we play a lot of games. So that helps this guy also to learn different numbers and facts and colors and stuff like that. All right, and the next big part of his school year is going to be Sunlight. Now I do Sunlight with him and his big brother together. So this is Core P, Exploring God's World, and it's aimed for ages 4 to 5, and he will be 4 or 5 this year, so that's perfect. So if you're not familiar with Sunlight, the way it works is they tell you exactly what to do each day and have it scheduled out. This one here is 4 days a week, and like I said, we'll do this at bedtime, and I'll show you the books. And this also has a letter component to it. So for 1 week, they'll teach 1 letter sound, 1 number, and a shape. And they also have like music and life skills mixed in here. I talk a little more about this in my first grader curriculum picks for this year. So if you want to see that in a little more detail, you can look in there. And then I'm sure I'll probably give a mid-year review and end-of-year review. But this is a literature-based program primarily. So these are kind of like the Bible portion of their Sunlight. So I'll show you guys these books real quick. This is the Children's Book of Virtues. And so it has like lessons and stories and poems in here. And each one you can ask the child, like, what can we learn from this lesson? These are New Toes for Tia and The Gods Must Be Angry. This little boy, I believe, from Thailand, which is a neighboring country to us here, so that should be interesting. This here is Stories from Africa, and it has stories in there. And then this is the main Bible story book this year. It's 101 favorite stories from the Bible, and it has like a 2-page spread and then roughly 3 questions for them to work on. And then in their Sunlight this year, it also has Bible memory for them to do, and it has song suggestions, like little children's songs, often with hand motions and stuff like that, which I really appreciate because I often don't think about what songs to teach my kids, or may not have thought of that particular song in a while, and so I appreciate those life suggestions. In the Instructor's Guide in Sunlight, they also give you talking points for the different Bible stories, and they have character quality for each week. Like the first week is attentiveness, and then a Bible memory verse has to do with that. And so they encourage you to look for ways the child can practice being attentive that week and praise him for when he is. And so I think it's going to be really good for us. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys the books pretty quick. These 2 here are more like social awareness books, things people do. And this one here is People. So we love sunlight, we love stories, and we love cuddling up and reading books aloud. All right, here's the next stack from Sunlight, and I'm just gonna go through these. This is American Tall Tales, and this is told by Jim Wise, and it's from The Well-Trained Mind. And my husband, we don't have a CD player in our schoolroom, so my husband will probably put this on our computer and then put it on like OneDrive, so I have access on my phone to it. This is Eric Carlisle's Animals, and my boys love Brown Bear, Brown Bear. My 4-year-old likes to pretend that he's reading it and has it memorized. Why are those dogs barking so much? This here is called The Year at Maple Hill Farm, and I believe we read the first one in this one last years. This here is a child's book of art and has different famous paintings in here. And the instructor's guide, they'll tell you like, go through and try counting this, or notice this color, or notice the children, or notice the family, or whatever. Talk about different aspects in there. This is a read aloud, Millie, Molly, Mandy. I am not sure how it's gonna go with my 4-year-old yet. I don't know if he can sit still listen to that. If it's written well, maybe he will be able to. I have not read this book before. I think my 6-year-old will be able to do this pretty easy. This here is for the letter awareness. For example, week 1, they're focusing on letter F, the sound F, and so you only read the F page in here that week. This here is Usborne, Stories from Around the World, and it has a lot of like culture stories and also some about their religion and beliefs in those countries. This one here is the Lion Storyteller bedtime book, and it's perfect because we do Sunlight at bedtime, and it just has short little stories in here. Some of them are stories we're familiar with, and some of them are not. So we have already started this one and have been enjoying it. And then this here is First 1,000 Words in Spanish and in English. And so this has actually worked really well with doing it with 2 boys. We'll go through and practice saying all the words in Spanish. Some of them I don't know how to pronounce correctly, but we guess and giggle and laugh. So my 4-year-old has come in here and joined me. But we'll practice saying the words and try to find in here. And so one son can have this book and one son can have the other book. And then if we don't know exactly what the thing is, we can look in here because the pictures are exactly the same, like closet. And yeah, usually you can tell from the picture though. So there is that. And then the last little section here is kind of like history and science. This is Then and Now, an Usborne book, and so that's kind of like the history one, what things look like then and now. And then these are science. What's under the sea? Why do tigers have stripes? These are like informative books, not really stories. So you're probably just reading 1 page a day or something like that. This is What's Smaller Than a Pygmy Screw? How do you lift a lion? Is a blue whale the biggest thing there is? These are big pictures, just a little bit of text per page. How to dig a hole to the other side of the world. I've seen this book before and I always was curious what it is, so it'll be fun to read this one. And then this one here is the Bearstein Bears Big Book of Nature, and it goes through and talks about like seasons and months and days of the week and stuff like that, which is perfect for this age since I'm trying to teach that this year anyway. And Sunlight comes with a kit. This here has pencil crayons in it. Are you looking what's all in your kit? So it has pencil crayons in there. It's got flashcard numbers that you can like sandpaper and you can feel it. So last year they focused on numbers 1 to 10, and this year they focused on 10 to 20 and have activities for them. They review 1 through 10 also. These are letter sounds, and like the first week we're focusing on letter F. He already knows the letter sounds, but it won't hurt him any. These are small beads, and they have like 10 on a thing, and in the instructor's guide they tell you what to do with these. So I don't know exactly how to use them yet because I haven't got to that part. This here is a plastic children's knife for them to practice cutting soft things like a banana or a piece of bread or something like that. And then this here is a tens board and with numbers, and I don't know exactly how we use that yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. These are another resource that I have used with my 2 little boys. This one here I used this past school year, and we'll use this one this year, and I do it at bedtime with them. This is from the Daily Grace Co., and this one here is gospel conversation cards. So it'll have questions like on one side of the card talk about love, and then the other side, how did you show love today, or how did someone show love to you today? Questions like that just make cute discussions. And then this one here is big truths for little kids, theology cards for kids. It'll have a word, for example, like Trinity. And on the back, it'll have a brief explanation. All right, and last of all, I have a little stack of workbooks here that this child loves to do school, and he begs me to do school. So often we'll do a little bit of school in the morning and a little bit of school in the afternoon. Occasionally he'll have a day where he doesn't want to do school, and I don't force him to do it. It's optional for him at this age. Last year we did Before the Code Book A, and so this year we'll work on B and C. These here are from JDA. She creates homeschool curriculum for moms. This here is a preschool literacy one. We did a math one from her last year, and he loved it. And then this one here is a writing one, so this is kind of his handwriting. I also have a PDF from The Good and the Beautiful for it's like Doodles for Littles, like the pre-K one. And I printed it before and he's done it before. I may print that one again and do that one too, but we do have this one for practicing writing. And then this is their preschool math 2, like from JDA, Kindergarten Math Prep 2. And so he had done the first one last year and loved it. And then this one here, I got the PDF and printed, and he can do it again. And if he goes through it really fast, like I did the first one, I can print this one again easy since I have the PDF, which is really nice. And then this here we got through Sunlight. It's Developing the Early Learner. Last year we did book 1. There's 4 in this series. And so we will continue working through these. He didn't love this as much as he loved some of his other workbooks, so we'll see how much we get done this year. But yeah, it's just black and white pages, and it's kind of like critical thinking, finding things, circling something that's different, coloring. And then last of all is some dot to dot pages books. These are little ones from School Zone. This is ABC dot to dot and 1 to 25 dot to dot and alphabet dot to dot, so like singing the ABC song. So he enjoys these and he's working on numbers. He can easy count to like, he can count pretty far, but occasionally in the teens he'll get numbers switched up. And so something like this will be good practice for him. And then also singing the ABC song. He can sing it, but occasionally he'll get 1 or 2 letters switched around. And so yeah, good practice for him. And then he will just be around hanging out as I'm doing school with the other boys. So I'm sure he'll pick up a lot through that. We also play a lot of games in our family, and we do a lot of arts. I like to paint and draw and stuff like that. And yeah, my boys like to make up games. They're very competitive. And last year we were part of a homeschool PE class. I'm not sure if we'll do that this year yet or not, but if we do, he'll be part of that. And yeah, so we're looking forward to a really great school year. I really enjoy teaching him. I enjoy teaching all my boys and love that I get to spend this time with them and watch them as they learn and grow and the excitement in their face. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye.